Well, hello, Christy.
What's up, Kelly? How are you?
I'm good. It's Podcast Wednesday. We're mixing it up. It's just Wednesday.
We've been mixing it up. It's really about when we can actually get to it. We try for weekly. Thursday seems to be the best day to do it. But, it's okay. Today's Wednesday.
Sometimes you gotta bail and go to a spa weekend and get grounded, and then we're like, okay, let's pivot. Here we are.
Are you talking about my spa weekend in Santa Fe? I didn't go for a spa weekend to Santa Fe. I went to Santa Fe. We can talk about that a little bit later.
Did you go to Santa Fe to work? No, you did not.
I ended up climbing a mountain on accident. Story for later.
Words I have never spoken in my life. I accidentally climbed a mountain. I fall down one, maybe climb one.
I tried to fall down it too. Well, what happened was we'll get to Santa Fe in a minute.
Let's get to Santa Fe in a minute. First off, we have to say a big hello to all of the new people who are following us. Thanks to your depressive state about football. Who knew there were so many passionate people about geography, where the fuck Manhattan, Kansas is, and the KC Chiefs and the Wildcats?
I know this is hard for you to understand, Kelly, because you're Canadian and you grew up thinking poutine was a sport.
Poutine. Did you say poutine? That's a different thing.
That's not what I said. You're now changing. Now you're making shit up. Anyways, Kelly is Canadian, as you all know, and she doesn't get what's such a big deal about football here in the U.S.
It's true. I know it's your love language, but for me, it's just men in tights running around, and then basically the clock stops every 3 seconds. And then we got a whole European culture who's like, that's not football. You don't even use your feet. So we're going to do a whole episode.
The kickers use their feet.
One guy gets to use his feet.
Well, they all do because they run. Also, I don't know why men in tights bothers you.
Well, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it bothers me to call it a sport.
It's okay.
It's the best sport ever. So we're definitely going to talk Canada versus U.S. football. We'll get into some European football, like the real football. And then we're going to talk about this whole U.S. fandom thing and why everyone is so obsessed about their teams. But before we do that, I have a surprise for you, Christy, because I do feel bad that I didn't know who your Wildcats were. And I really, really hope that the color of my screen is right, because while I don't have any Manhattan, Kansas Wildcats, I do have purple and white with a W. Let's pretend this in honor of your Wildcats. I'm wearing purple and white. It's 1,000 degrees outside. It's my son's varsity, but yay, Wildcats.
Well, Kelly, I really appreciate that. And that comes from the heart. I wish I could say that we redeemed ourselves this weekend, but we had an off weekend. So we're still
not playing, or that once again you fucked it up and it was off.
We weren't playing.
Okay.
So yeah, so a little reprieve from that. And then the Chiefs won. Thank you, dear God. I feel like we've had a Super Bowl hangover for like a couple of games. And in the second half, we started to actually look like the Chiefs this time, and we won. It was great.
I almost watched the NFL on the week, and I'm home alone. Don't send any rapists or murderers to my house, but I was home alone, and I thought, I wonder if I should watch the football. I did not, but I did bring a red cup in honor of your Chiefs as well.
I feel like maybe you did listen to me. Kelly, I feel so heard. I mean, I think it's the color of your screen, but your purple looks like royal blue, but the W looks pretty close.
I will trust that it is very purple. Damn lighting, but yes, I'm representing.
And your camera's kind of crooked today. It looks like all your stuff is on there you go. Okay.
On my shelf. Whoop. That would actually be about right.
I don't know how all those things are staying up there, but whatever. Okay, so let me explain a little bit about football to you. I know baseball is America's sport, but baseball for me is like watching paint dry unless I'm at the game and drinking.
It's just a drinking game. And then
it's a drinking
also game. In tights running around. I'm tipped again.
Look at you. Stop tipping your camera. No one who's listening cares though. Okay, just leave it. Just leave it for now. You don't look sideways, so that's okay. So I just don't understand you come to this country and you don't want to understand football.
Actually,
And you are such but so here, if you just were just anybody, that's okay. But you're a sporty.
I am sporty, so I just want to just correct you a little bit. It's
Oh.
not that I don't understand football. I don't understand the religion of fandom of football in America. And I shouldn't even say America because I know in Europe for football, the real footy, soccer, there is equal fandom. But in the US, like let's talk about this. And I have done a little bit of ad hoc research, which is really just reaching out to my other friends who are fans, crazy fans of their teams to understand, like, how did you get here? Is it geographic? Is it, I grew up, my dad was a fan. Like, help me understand where you get to that point where it's like, I am your ride or die fan. This is my team.
So I can't speak for the entire United States, but I think geography plays a lot into it, right? So if you live in Texas, the chances of you being a Cowboy or a Texans fan go up drastically, right? So I think it's a word, phrase. No.
I'd love to help you, but I'm just going to stare at you.
Is this the point where I say my doctor has decided to give me muscle relaxers during the day, and today was the first day I took one, and I'm really, really not with it today?
Everyone should know that Christy was having so many yawns before we started that she had to make a coffee because this is legitimately, I can vouch for that being coffee.
Cheers. You can see it. It's definitely not anything cocktailish.
No, could be a Bailey's in it, but yes.
No, I think so first of all, the reason I love football is because it's equal parts strategy and like coaching and athleticism. And I know you can say that about a lot of sports, but if you think of, there's 11 players on each side of the ball and everyone's got to do their jobs and their jobs are very, very different. Yeah. So what I like about it is the different plays that they run. I like when you see people, these athletes are amazing, but also it's really the plays that are called are just as important as how they're executed, the physicalness. And so go ahead.
You like the effort that is put in behind the scenes to make an entertaining sport a sport. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I admit that I have watched the entire quarterback and Netflix special and learned quite a bit about. I mean, I heard that too. That was
They're the ones who throw the ball, Kelly.
Yeah,
The quarterback throws the ball.
I know them.
Or runs it or passes or
But it was
hands it off.
interesting to see how much work goes into the plays and who comes up with them and why, and then some of the positions and things like that. So it's not that I don't understand the sport, and I've certainly been to probably 40 live football games now. I will admit that 38 of them were in the CFL. And really, does anybody watch CFL like NFL? No. I do love a live sporting event, period. Like, I could watch live cricket and I would enjoy it because I love the environment. And the US, so an NFL game is so high energy. And what I love about football, unlike footy, soccer, there are always new things to cheer about. A play, a down, a tackle, an interception, like all that kind of stuff is like more reason to be cheering and or fuck, that kind of stuff. I love that.
Cheering or cussing.
Energy. Cussing or cheering, those are your two C's in football. So I do love that. But I would say I think there are Canadian diehards in sport, and yes, hockey for sure. And like these poor Maple Leafs fans who are still holding out. I think it's 1967 was the last time they won the Stanley Cup, and they're still holding out. So bless them. So, but I have not observed that same attachment to football. And then you come here, and it is a religion, but with nachos, and you're just like, wow, it's great. It is great, but I would really appreciate everybody's comments in our Instagram about the Chiefs.
Well, and I think one of the great things about football is it draws such a wide audience. And so it's, if you're a Chiefs fan, chances are you grew up in Kansas or Missouri, right? Until the last couple of years. Now we're getting them from everywhere because they're so good. But, the Chiefs sucked for a very, very, very long time. And so there's still that camaraderie, whether you win or lose. It's like in a world that's so divided, especially right now, it's like, let's circle what's common. And for what's common for a lot of Kansas City and Kansas and Missouri are the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I think that not only is it an interesting game, right? Because you can watch soccer, and my daughter plays soccer. I love soccer, but you know what? You score so rarely.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, oh, great, a good pass. But like, there's no, I mean, football is like you march it down the field, right?
Yeah, there's immediate highs and lows to every single time somebody's touching the ball. Yeah.
It's so dramatic, and
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it. And I love it. So
So,
I think
yeah.
that, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Say so geographical geography makes a huge difference in who your team is and who you pick. The other, I think the secondary one is who's good. And
Right.
it used to be that you could only really get your local games in market. Now you got NFL ticket and you can watch anybody and everybody and any of the games, because before it was just by market. Like if you weren't one of the best teams in the country, other markets weren't carrying you.
Weren't carrying you.
No.
I see.
So that, I think that part has brought more fans from different areas. And then of course it comes down to tradition and dynasty, right? So while the Cowboys suck, I mean, in my opinion, sorry Texas, sorry Dallas. I mean, the star is the number one most recognized logo in the world.
I would agree with you there. And then I would say their cheerleaders probably second to that. But let me ask you this.
Oh my God. Okay.
You lived in Texas for a long time. So this fandom, I agree with you. I think a lot of it is geographical, especially if you grew up in a town where you could go see a live game, and then that just builds this love of a team. But you were in Texas for more than a decade and you were just basically like,
Almost
fuck
two.
them. So does fandom ever change if geography is the number one thing when you move?
I
Does it
mean,
change?
again, I can only speak for myself. So I actually grew up until fourth grade in Illinois, right outside Chicago, in a small farming town. And
Right.
this was back when the Chicago Bears, Mike Ditka, the
The
Bears,
Bears.
the Bears. This is when the Bears were in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And so, some of the best players to ever play the game. And so when I was in fourth grade, we moved to Kansas. And I remember thinking, the Chiefs, they suck. And it looks like Ronald McDonald. Their their colors. I'm like, who put these colors together? Seriously, guys, what the fuck? But over the gosh, till I from fourth grade to when did I move to Texas? 23-ish. Um, it slowly just grew on me because you're around a lot of the same fans.
Mm.
So being in a Kansas community where the Chiefs are the thing, and Chiefs fans are awesome. One of the things I love about the Chiefs are the fans are awesome. They're ride or die. Like, and I lived in Dallas. I went to several Cowboys games, and Cowboys fans are kind of dicks. They're very hot or cold depending on how the team is. If a
Yeah.
team sucks,
Then they're
they
gone.
hate their team.
Yeah.
But you're not going to hear KC fans, I mean, even back in the day, just like ripping on everyone. It's more like, okay, guys, we got to get this together. And, it's not vicious. And so for it's geography, I think it's, do you align with the culture of the team and then the type of fans they have?
Got it. And so even when you moved in your 20s and now you're more into football, you were still cheering Chiefs, even though you were sitting in the Lone Star State?
Yes.
Yes.
So, but also know this. So my evolutions of football, I never played, but I went to Kansas State. And at the time that I went to Kansas State, first of all, go
Hey,
ahead.
first off, that's the Wildcats, in case you didn't know. It's Kansas State. And it's in Manhattan, Kansas.
I'm so proud, Kelly. Like, when someone is like really screws up not listening to you and then they come back the way that you have with your purple sweatshirt and your red cup, and knowing exactly who my team mascots are now, I really appreciate that.
Thank
You've done
you.
a very good job. A therapist would give you an A for recovery on this one.
I do love an A. I am, a people pleaser. So thank you for the A. But go on.
You're also competitive and achievement
Super,
oriented.
super, super competitive. Didn't like everyone roasting me. No, go on.
I bet that hurt your heart.
I mean, I was just like, I will just say for 7 years, my husband's company was the primary sponsor of the CFL for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You will know none of these teams, nor do I
No.
need you to look them up. What it meant was they had at the end zone, they owned all of the seating, and the booze and the food was included because these were VIP end zone seats and big like lawn chairs and couches, and it was awesome. So we went to all the games as VIPs and stood with cool people and watched all the football. And I just get into the sport. So it's not like I don't know the sport. But anyways,
Well, I think also, like I told you, you could love the Chiefs by association because of me. Although we're quickly becoming the most hated team in the NFL because we're good. Well, I mean, this season's TBD at the moment, but
you're
I think,
normally good. I do love the diehardness of any fan who rides out a storm and is not a fair weather fan, right? Because, like many jobs, you'll be in a window of time that was amazing and you had a great team and great leaders, and it was like, oh, did I happen to work during a magical season or something? And then you'll have these people who are like, it's not good anymore. Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm going to go cheer on this team. I think the Buffalo Bills have fans that are like that too, that are like, we're going to cheer for you guys forever. Like I feel, because I have a lot of friends living up in Canada near the border of Buffalo. I can drive to Buffalo in 45 minutes. Not that I did, but there's a lot of fans there. And they feel like the same fans to me, that they're just like, we got this, we'll do better. But I don't follow them.
yeah. Well, also too, like in KC, there's not a lot of, we don't have an NBA team, right?
Yes,
So football's just kind of
the
the
thing.
the thing. I mean, we do have two professional soccer teams, and KC Current is the women's team is badass. And so, anyways, I think that also depends. Like if people have NFL teams, or well, we do have the Royals. They've been doing better. Anyways, what I was gonna say before you started talking about something else was shit. I can't remember. Oh, the Wildcats. So
Yes.
here's why I love the Wildcats. One, my brother went to K State, and Kansas State was the losingest football team in college football history ever,
Ever.
ever. Until a gentleman named Bill Snyder came along, and he was gonna he changed it. He had the biggest turnaround in college football history. My brother-in-law was part of some of the turnaround teams. And
Amazing.
by the time I got to college, we were awesome. Like, we were really good. It's just back in the days of the BCS, right before we had the playoffs, but we were one year, I think it was 90, 98. Yeah. 98. I mean, we just missed going to the national championship. And so I always fight for an underdog, but to go from like the shittiest team possible
To the
to competing with the best of the best of the best, there was a huge source of pride in that.
everyone
Um,
loves a recovery.
I mean, everyone loves one.
Yeah. And then if it's your alma mater, then
Yeah.
yes, of course you're going to cheer for that.
And I was there during the best years of K-State.
Nice.
Like, I was there, we hadn't beaten Nebraska in 30 years. And I was in the front row of that game. I was the first one on the field all 3 times because we started to rush the field and the clock wasn't over yet. 3 times. Now, I will say that it was like the worst uncalled face mask ever in the history of the sport. It should have gone against K-State, but it doesn't matter. So, we beat Nebraska for the first time in 30 years. And that was back when Nebraska was a powerhouse. So for me, it's about the game itself, but it's so tied to, and I love the game, but the emotion and the traditions and the camaraderie that comes with being a fan of something.
So I've never gone to a college football game. Always only professional NFL games. If you were to have and say this is the best experience for you, is it NCAA? Is it NFL? Like, what is the
Well,
difference?
it depends. So when I was younger, I didn't pay as much attention to the NFL because during football season, my focus was totally Kansas State for years and years and years.
Mm,
And so I was high. My emotional investment in Kansas State was much higher. Like,
got it.
I'd be in a total shit mood for a week when we lost.
Oh no.
Even after college, like for the first 5 years out. Um, I don't remember what your question was.
I was just
I think I'm answering it.
experientially, like if you're sitting in a football, if you're like, you land here from Mars and you're like, I don't understand this whole football fandom, and you want someone to be immersed
Ugh.
in the best part of the fandom, is it equivalent to do an NFL and an NCAA game? Or is it like, nah, you got to go to college because that's just more raw and emotional?
So I think that really depends. It depends on what stadium you're playing in.
Mm.
For me, I live much closer to the Chiefs now, and it's the loudest stadium in the entire country. If I had the choice between, I don't know, that's still hard.
Well,
But the ambiance. So you have stadiums like K-State's a small stadium,
yeah.
comparatively, but you have stadiums down in the South that are like 85,000, 100,000 seats that are packed every
Every
fucking game.
game. We were in Waco because I wanted to go see Magnolia House.
Texas is not the South.
Okay, I'm not making the connection to the South. I'm making the connection to the busyness of
Uh,
the game.
okay. I'm like,
But I
also
mean, you're
Texas
an
is
engineer,
Texas.
which was a fair thing to do. It is the South. It's just not the South. Anywho, it's not the South that you define it, but it is the Southern. It touches the border. Anyways, it's Baylor that's there, right?
Yes.
And it's like right by Magnolia's whole setup. And so when we went, there was a homecoming game happening that day. And I was like, holy bloody hell. Tens and tens of thousands of people. I was just like, hey, this is a vibe. Maybe we should go to this game. We could obviously not get into the game as it was sold out, but I was like, wow, college, well done.
What I love about college is that I think it's like on any I mean, this is true for the NFL, but everyone in the NFL is so freaking good. I think that there's in college it's a little bit more dramatic cuz sometimes teams will come and just cuz in college every game counts.
Yeah,
Right? We don't
it's
have I
prettier.
guess we now have playoffs, but every game counts. And so you get upset one game, you're dropping in the rankings.
Yes. And you end up where your beloved Wildcats were last week.
Listen, we're still here. We're still at the bottom of the Big 12.
You're coming back. You're coming back. I can feel it. I got my purple on, even though you can't tell it's purple.
I'm gonna send you a K-State sweatshirt.
I will happily wear it. I will happily wear it.
You will. That's why I love you. That's why I love your Canadian
Okay.
ass.
Thanks. Speaking of, let's do a little Christy, who is the football expert on this call. She is the expert.
Okay, I'm like not an expert.
Canadian versus American football rules. Okay. I'm gonna test you. It's like a quiz.
I don't know
You can do best
anything
guess. You can do
about
best guess.
Canadian football. It's like I don't know. Football
Okay.
Jeopardy with maple syrup, maybe? I don't know.
Let's do it. Their prize is 100% maple syrup and maybe a side of poutine. Let's start with field size.
What do you mean?
Canadian
Is it not the
versus
same?
true or
Ours
false? Let's make
okay.
it true or false. The
Okay.
Canadian football field is bigger than the American one. True or false?
Fall?
Wrong. Canada went Costco size, was 110 yards versus your 100 yards. We like football like we like our winters, extra long.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm gonna
just
skip
dumb.
it. Well, I mean, it was a good guess.
Okay.
It was a
I
good
mean,
guess. Everything's bigger in the U.S., but
but
not
also,
the
wait,
football field.
why an extra 10 yards? What's the point of that?
Hold that question because you're going to ask me it again when I ask you the next question.
Okay.
Downs. How many downs do Canadian get? Canadian football?
I mean, I can't imagine anything other than 4.
Nope, 3.
Are you sure?
We don't fuck around, man. You got 3 chances, and then
First
it's
of
a punt.
all, let's back that shit up. So you said you have 3 chances and then you punt?
Yes,
So that's actually 4. So do you have to punt
but you
on the
have enough.
4th down? Hold
I
on.
think you have to punt. It's punt
Okay,
o'clock.
we need to check that because in
Fact
the
check.
US there's 4 downs,
But
and
one of them is
traditionally on the
exclusion.
4th down, in the past, it was a punt usually or a field goal attempt or something, right? What has happened over the last, I think it's decade or 15 years, is that coaches are using that 4th down to actually go for the first down. and not depending on where their field position and who they're playing and what time of the game it is. So I'm pretty sure you're wrong here and that you do have 4 downs, because if you have 3 and then you punt, that's like old school football.
Well, I will read you what it says here. Unlike American football, the Canadian Football League gives the offense only 3 downs to advance 10 yards. The decision to punt is a strategic one and can be made on any of the 3 downs, though it's most common on 3rd down.
Okay.
So anyone
Why
wants
would you punt before 3rd down?
like this?
That's just like, hey, we're not getting this shit. Our team sucks. We're just
You're
gonna
like, get this
put
ball
it.
away from me. You take it. You try. I'm done with it. I'm done with these shit. It's probably because it's snowing. You're like, fuck this. I don't want it. That hurts my legs. Those balls are hard when you have to get hit with them.
All
Okay.
right, give me some
Players.
other
Number of players.
What?
How many players on the field per team in Canada?
I don't know. 11. I mean, that's what we have.
12. We threw an extra guy in just for the chaos. He's probably a lumberjack, or maybe he makes the poutine. I don't know. It's 12.
What position does he play?
You follow-up questions I wasn't ready for. Hold,
Like,
please, caller. Maybe he has to cover those extra 10 yards. What?
So would that mean he's in the secondary? What is he on defense and what is he on offense?
Now you're just flexing.
I'm not. Hey, understanding the basic positions and the number of people on the field is not flexing. Not even close. If I get into coverage 1, coverage 2, all that shit, then that's flexing.
Okay, offensively, this usually adds a second slot receiver, while on defense, it creates a safety-like position.
Okay, thank you.
That makes sense to you?
Do you know what a safety
I hope it's a backup person. I feel like you're the backup. You're like the extra clip. Make sure you don't fall off the mountain. That's what that person is. No,
that'd be the cornerbacks.
For fuck's sakes.
The safety roams between the secondary. Well, it's part of the secondary, but the cornerbacks are further down the field. The safety either plays up or back depending on how the play unfolds.
So like a midfielder in soccer?
Sure. No, I mean, it doesn't even compare.
Well, they can be up scoring goals or they can be coming back on defense depending on what
the other defense doesn't traditionally score touchdowns. If they do, it's based. But I'm just saying, you're comparing apples to lemons. It's not. It's not the same.
Make my not potato even kind of your lemon.
You're comparing. I don't know what you're comparing. But what else you got for me?
Okay, the ball. Is the football itself in Canada bigger, smaller, or the same as the American one?
I'm going to guess it's bigger.
Yes. We needed more room for our tiny hands and our sticky poutine fingers. We just needed more room for polite apologies when we fumble the ball. That's really what I think is why it's bigger. Okay, now this one I know you're going to roast me on because I have no comeback.
Are you sure?
I shouldn't show you my hand, but final one. In Canadian football, can multiple players be in motion before the snap?
I would say yes, right? But they have to, they're not. Can they not?
No. Multiple, oh wait.
Is that just the line, or are you talking?
Yes, you're right. They can. No,
okay.
It's in motion. We like chaos. So multiple players can go in motion, even sprint toward the line of scrimmage. It's like a flash mob. There you go. Flash mob with helmets. These are, now I feel like I have to go back and just do regular American rules and sort of get myself a little bit educated.
I can give you some basic ones. I'm not going to bore our audience with them because
they're all them to me here. Send them in an email.
Mostly American based on our statistics, and they'll be bored out of their freaking minds.
And so I guess besides the, obvious cultural differences, CFL versus NFL, more people, bigger field, bigger ball, more chaos.
So I just want to throw something out there.
Yes.
Do you know how much the NFL generates a year in league revenue?
Are we including sponsorships? Like
we're not doing TV. We're not doing any of that.
Just the league.
Yes, you could do sponsorships, but
like ticket sales and all of that at the games. Yeah. You were talking. Oh my God! $100 billion?
No, it's $23 billion in league revenue.
Yes,
that doesn't include other things. But do you know how much the CFL generates?
$0 billion. 25 cents Canadian.
No, it's 200 million. So I just
Canadian
say
or USD?
CAD.
Oh,
Canadian.
so that's even
That's like, I don't know. What is
that's
that?
like 130 million. Oh God.
So I guess what I'm saying, Kelly, that's why I don't understand Canadian football because nobody watches it.
Honestly, they don't really. I don't know. I guess it just is something that was like, hey, they're doing that cool game down there. Maybe we should play it up here.
And
And for
just
diehard CFL
change
fans,
rules to make it our own.
yeah, then we had, well, hello, fucking Fahrenheit. Ooh, the rest of the world is doing what? Celsius. Hell no. How about this one?
God, we also do inches, so there's that.
Sometimes. And then
So actually, let me
not.
ask you this.
Yes.
So, we do yards and inches in our football. Do you use the metric system?
No, it's in yards.
So you use yards and inches.
Well, they definitely, I've never heard them say that's 8 centimeters to touch.
I don't know. I've never watched a Canadian football game, nor do I think I ever will.
I think you should have to. I think what I should do is have you come up and like we'll go see a Hamilton Tiger Cats game and you'll be like, "Oh my god, am I watching an elementary school final? What's happening here?"
Am I watching Colton's
Yes.
flag
Is
football
this
team, my
Colton's?
6-year-olds?
This is a flag football league? Oh no, it's a professional league. Oh my god.
My tiny high school could have beat your asses.
Maybe.
Well,
I
I feel bad now that I've said a billion mean things about Canadian football, and I've never even watched it. So
Where did football originate? In the US, I presume, but where and when?
I don't know. That sounds like a question for ChatGPT.
Dear Google machine,
Dear Internet,
do your thing. Tell me.
when and where was football invented?
And did you know, fun fact, I call it American football in my head. It's like Thanksgiving. I still call it American Thanksgiving. And then 6 years later, down here, I'm like, oh, I think they just call it Thanksgiving here.
Kelly, I don't even know what to tell you about that. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's like NFL style, whatever. But the first game of American football was played November 6th, 1869 between Rutgers and Princeton.
So it started in college.
It was in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
That's a long time ago.
Speaking of a long time ago, I was in a very old city over the weekend. I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which has a really, really rich history. I went with my friend Jack, and we had a blast. It was fun.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Some shenanigans were had.
Not really shenanigans, just kind of basic level fuck ups. So Jacqueline lives in Austin.
Just the usual kind.
Just the usual kind. So we're flying into Albuquerque. Jacqueline lives in Austin, and I live in Kansas City. So we are meeting in Albuquerque, and Jacqueline's like, well, we need to get a car. And I'm like, I don't drive, dude. Like, I will avoid driving at all costs. I mean, I moved to New York City after college, so I didn't have to drive.
Okay.
That's how much I hate driving. I don't mind riding, but I really hate driving.
Yeah, the two are not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same at all. So one, you have to pay attention and all that, and
And
whatever.
you really should.
One, I mean, if you're a passenger and you're really paying attention, you're going to be scared out of your damn mind because you're going to be constantly telling the driver, hey, did you see that? Did you see that? Whatever. So anyways, Jack calls me the day before we leave or texts me. Actually, she texted me and she said, hey, I rented a car, but my license is expired because her birthday was the week before.
Oh, no.
So we get to the counter and she tries to change it into my name and they won't let her. They're like, we can't, like, it's policy, da 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 da. And then they try to charge us $1,200. This one rental was like $150 for 3 days. They tried to charge us $1,200, to which we're like, no, thank you. So we take an Uber all the way to New Mexico, or all the way to Santa Fe from Albuquerque, which is like an hour. So not a cheap Uber ride. Yeah. So the first night, and then the first night,
the rental, you just ate it. Whatever you paid up front, you're like, fuck it, we just leave.
I mean, that's up to Jacqueline. She can call and get her money back. I mean, best of luck, sis, because you didn't have a valid license.
Yeah, that feels like that was all on you. You kind of knew.
But knowing her, she will find a way out of it. And if not, I'll probably give him a call and find a way out of it. Nowhere on this website does it say you have to have a valid driver's license. No, I'm just kidding. So we then decide we're going to rent a car up in Santa Fe.
Okay.
So after calling multiple places, I finally get us a car rented with Avis. But of course, I fuck up the location. So we take an Uber all the way out to the Santa Fe airport, which is a teeny tiny little airport. We get there and there's this woman behind the counter and she looks mean, like just mean. And Jacqueline's like, she's not going to help us, Christy. I'm like, shut up. We realize now that we're at the wrong place. Like we were supposed to be at 120 miles away, which means we'd have to take another Uber over there.
Another Uber.
And like half your day is wasted and you're like, F this. So anyways, we were talking to the Avis. The Avis lady used to be a correctional officer. So this is why she has a don't fuck with me face and body.
She just has her RBF that she's just baked in from her career.
Yeah. But you know me, I'm going to be funny trying to get you to feel sorry for me so you'll help me. So after like being like, listen, we fucked up. Our car's at the other location, da da da. And she's like, well, let me see. She's like, let me see if we have any cars. They had one left, one car. Actually, I don't even know that they had one because they told the people behind us they absolutely didn't. I think she may have pulled somebody else's car. Like she and the guy next to her with her partner had diamonds on his teeth. Like he was this really beautiful, blue-eyed, tall man with like little studs on his teeth.
All his teeth?
No, just a few, just like a little, a couple little diamond. Huh?
More than one.
Wow. Anywho, I was like, how long do those stay in? And he's like, well, usually a couple months, but these fell out here and here, so I have to go get them redone. Long story short, we get the car. They charge us $100 for it, even though we're returning it to the airport in Albuquerque.
Nice.
And now I have to drive everywhere, which sucks because Jacqueline doesn't have a license. And she's like, well, we could just switch seats if we were pulled over by cops. I'm like,
yeah, they would never notice that.
A, they would never notice that. Also, B, I don't want a ticket for how you're driving. Yeah, so I'm stuck driving. We decided to go to like the Turquoise Trail, and Jacqueline likes to shop a whole lot more than I do. My patience for shopping is like, okay, give me 2 stores, I'm done. And can I just order this shit online? So we go to this like crazy little hippie town where every like 2 steps I get a massive whiff of marijuana. And it's the craziest little town you've ever seen. It's just, I was like, oh, we should have just come here and like drank up and down the streets. And
yeah, that felt like the place you should have Ubered to.
Correct. But there was one thing I wanted to do while we were in Santa Fe. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to the top of this mountain. And
were you driving? Were you driving to the top of it?
Well, that was the plan, and then to take the ski lift up the rest of the way.
Okay, fun. Like a gondola? Yeah.
Yeah. So we drive, all the way to the basin of the mountain, and we get off and I have a glass of champagne. She has a beer. Turns out the lift is closed.
Like seasonally or just for the day?
Just for the day. But we're leaving the next morning, right? So I'm like, I want to go see the top of this mountain. Let's just climb it.
Okay, hold on. How big a mountain is this?
I mean, it ended up being at 11,000 feet.
Where'd you start?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It's big enough to be a ski mountain. Like they ski on.
Yeah. So
what shoes were you wearing?
I was actually wearing hiking shoes, which Jacqueline made fun of me for. She's like, I love that you think we're going to hike enough for you to need those shoes.
And then you're like, gotcha, bitch. What shoes was she wearing?
She was wearing just regular tennis shoes.
Not flip-flops, thank God.
No. So anyway, so we start up this incline, and like I don't take into consideration how the air thins, right? Like I'm in good shape.
11,000 feet is no joke.
So anyways,
for climbing,
we start on a trail, but Jack's never gone snow skiing, so she doesn't understand that all the trails lead to the very freaking top. Right? Because that's where they come from. So she starts getting nervous because the gondola she can't see it anymore. And I'm like, listen, Jack, we're fine. And then she's like, no, we got to find this thing. So she cuts over, and usually where the gondolas are is the steepest, right? Like those go straight up. Like it's not a big path. It's like if you want to ski a black diamond, you do that.
Yeah.
So we are climbing at one point. Speaking of being vertically unstable, I am using my hands.
Holding on to the weeds?
My hands and feet. I like have my hands on the ground at one point. And to be honest, Jack's kicking my ass. I don't know why. I wasn't even sore the next day, but like I could not breathe up there. And so several times she's like, is this good high enough? Do we just want to go? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to go? And she's like, well, but neither of us can be the one to say we quit.
They would know you quit.
No, neither
Did
of
you
us
go to the
could.
top?
Fuck yes, we did.
Was the view worth it?
Yes, it was. It would have been way nicer with a cocktail in my hand up the chairlift. But then she's like,
that's to come down.
I know, which is, there's an easy path, right? That's like you
Okay.
take the greens down.
Okay.
Jacqueline's like, fuck it. It's almost dark. And there are bears up here and stuff. I was like, we have 2 hours till it's dark. First of all, I was like, secondly, you start going straight down there. We're talking broken ankles, strained knees. Like, I'm not trying to die here. She's like, you do what you want. I'm out of here. And she starts hightailing it straight down. Like, at one point, like, she slips and she's on her bottom going down.
Like, yeah, she's surfing on her ass. I mean, you know that I don't remember movies very well, but I do vividly remember Tommy Boy when he's like holding a please hold on, little roots. That would be fucking me. I would have hightailed ass over tea kettle down the hill for
Well,
sure.
so I'm just taking my dear sweet time, like cussing her out in my head the whole time because, like, I'm not going to break my ankle. I'm not going to strain a knee. I'm a little bit older than she is by like 4 or 5 years, I think. But anyways, we did make it.
How long did it take you to get to the bottom of the hill?
30 minutes.
Okay.
Took us like an hour and 15 to get up, I think.
Have you ever heard of the Cooper's Hill cheese rolling in Gloucester, England?
Can't say that I have. But I'll tell you what, if it's got cheese, I'm here for it. Talk to me about it, Goose. What's going on?
It's a fucking hill and they throw a big wheel of cheese down it and everyone chases the cheese down the hill and they break shit all the time. I want you after this podcast to look it up, and it's one of those where you're like, no, you should watch it. Oh my.
Okay.
That's the vision I have of Jacqueline trying to get down this hill is the fucking cheese roll.
She was way more graceful than I was, but she was scared. She's like, are there snakes here? I'm like, of course there's snakes here.
Of course there are. You know, for a hot minute when you told me you were going to go have a nice time with Jacqueline, I was like, I looked up flights to Santa Fe. I was like, maybe I could surprise her and go. Don't say you keep threatening me and you're going to do these things. You don't. I did look it up. I'm glad I didn't now because I don't want to climb a mountain. I live where mountains.
Well, it was an adventure. It was fun. Okay. You know, we had a spa day the day before. In hindsight, we should have flipped those two things.
Yeah, you do the spa day last to really go out.
But
yeah.
The food was excellent.
I love that.
The food was so good. Like, and I ate like it was my job.
I mean, it is. It keeps you alive.
Well, I mean, there's, but man, and those. So we're at a Santa Fe restaurant that's like traditional New Mexican food. And the guy's like, so do you want the spicy or the whatever? And I'm like, well, I lived in Texas for a long time. He's like, it's not the same. I will tell you, they're mild. Like, Jacqueline and I were sitting there eating and couldn't stop eating because every time we stopped, our mouths were on fire.
There's that delayed heat. You're like, no, we just got to keep eating.
Just keep eating. Where can I get some more tortillas? More tortillas. Can I get a bowl of sour cream?
I do.
Eat some sour cream to cool it down.
Yes, my husband's family is from India, and so they have the whole same thing, right? Add sour cream. If it's too hot, you just add a little of that on your tandoori chicken. But I would always ask my mother-in-law when she cooked traditional Indian food, is this spicy? And she would answer honestly for herself, no. And then my brother-in-law would be like, that's a lie. Your North American palate can't eat that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, I feel like, Christy, you introducing this particular story was a bit of a test, given you challenged me to stop talking about what, and then you just started talking about spicy food, and I wondered if you were testing me to see if I would talk about poop.
There it is. Every fucking podcast, Kelly.
Not everyone. 10 out of 23. 10 out of 11 out of 24.
That you have those stats wrong, but I'm not going to go disprove you on it because I'm not reading all these transcripts. I don't even want to know what I've said. I don't even want to know.
You all know that Christy often also mentions it around her dog and or wiping her son's butt. So I'm not the only one who talks about it, but now, yes.
That's different. You're obsessed.
I mean, I am a lab tech by training, so I have, handled a little bit of bodily fluid in my day. You're like,
Ew.
just
Just do.
I'm definitely not going to tell you how they collect that one then. Anyways, I do want to ask you one follow-up. I love that Christy makes the same face every time. It's like, God help me. What does Mary think about all of this? I need to know. Mary, Catherine, is it okay if I make your daughter feel all weird in her bones when I talk about poop? Obviously, you guys didn't talk about it growing up as much as my parents did.
I once had my mouth washed out for saying the word fart.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
remind
by
me.
my dad.
Okay.
But and then I'm like, I don't understand. All I said was fart, and I got washed out again. I think it took me like 3 times that day. Because, back in the day when your parents would shove a bar of soap in your mouth,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Back in the good old days.
Was it the good old days?
I don't know, but I mean, look at us. We're fine.
I
We're totally
think
fine.
that the fact that we are doing a podcast means we are, in fact, not fine.
Possible. It's possible. I do have a follow-up question for you, though, after our conversation before. You had to have the sexy talk with Presley. How did it go?
So it started because she heard something on the playground that was very sexual in nature and very descriptive. And so I'm curling Presley's hair one morning and she comes out with this and it was about oral sex. That's all I'm gonna say. And I was like, I about dropped the curling iron. I was like, oh, okay. And so I sat on it for 2 weeks. And I'm like, I need to tell her what sex is. I know she's only in 5th grade, but if she's starting to hear stuff, I want her to understand what happens. And so that she's not picking this crap up from the playground, but she's hearing it from me. A reliable source.
Super reliable source.
Easy. So I sit her down. I'm like, hey, Presley, I want to talk to you about something. Remember what you said the other morning? And she's like, and she repeats the very vulgar phrase. And I was like, yep, that one. That one.
Yeah,
Like,
she remembered.
I'm like, I want to talk to you about sex.
Okay.
And she's like, okay. It's like, what do you think sex is? Because you always want to start where they're at, right? You don't want to just
I love
like,
that advice. So good.
yeah. You're like, what do you think it is so that I can, give you the information that you need? She's like, I don't know. When 2 people are in their underwear kissing. And I'm thinking, that's what I used to think it was.
You were 100% correct.
But then I get into what the actual act of sex is, to which her face, she was horrified. She's like, that is disgusting. I can't believe that that's what it is and all this stuff. And then I proceed to say, because I put it in the context of how you make a baby, right? I explained eggs and sperm and all of it. And she's just looking at, probably scarred her for life, horrified. And then she says, wait a minute. You did that with daddy twice because you have 2 kids.
I was waiting for her to make the connection. You whore.
No, she was just like, that's disgusting.
Yep, twice.
And I'm like, well, now that he's my ex, yeah. I didn't say that. I did not say that. I did not say that to her.
Thinking it.
Well, I totally was thinking it. But anyways, she's just like horrified. She's just sitting there and she just can't even like. And then she starts getting into logistics.
Oh, that's
because she's like, wait, how does it get in there though?
Wait, did you say you were curling her hair again? This is what was happening?
No, we were actually sitting down.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I was sitting with her. We were actually snuggling in my bed watching a movie. I'm like,
you
I think now's a good time.
You didn't have to make eye contact constantly. You could like look away.
No, I couldn't because she was staring at me with the biggest eyes ever. And I didn't want her to be freaked out about it. And of course, then instead of doing the shame part, I then showed her a couple pictures of what STDs look like. So
wait, I thought that the advice was meet them where they are, and then you're like, poor.
Oh, I did meet her where she was, and then I scared the shit out of her about it. Like, it's for adults only.
Did she have follow-up questions like the next day, or was it one and done? Or no?
No. But we were watching Sing 2 the other night, and there's a scene with all of the piglets, and she leans over. I do too. She leans over and goes, they must have had a lot of sex.
Now you guys have this little dirty little secret between
I was like, well, I was like, Presley, and I also was like, do not tell your friends, not your cousins. I was just
going to ask you that, yeah.
But I have to tell my sister Jenny because Sydney and Presley are in the same class, and Jenny's like, oh, fucking great, Christy. Now Sydney's, I'm gonna have to talk to Sydney. I'm like, Presley's not gonna say anything, and she's like, bullshit. She won't say anything to her other friends, but she's gonna talk to her cousin about it. She's like, you know what my mom said?
Please tell me what Mary said.
No, I mean Presley's telling her what my mom said.
But also, please tell me what your mom said. Did you tell her?
I don't
Because she
know.
watches this podcast, so I'm sure she was wondering.
I think I did on the way to a game, and she was laughing.
I think it feels like it's one of those things that's way more funny when your grandkids have been exposed to it than you didn't have to do it than when you were the parent. So
Well,
Mary
my
is probably
parents
like,
didn't tell me shit,
done.
okay? I got my period and thought I was dying. It was my sister Angela who was like, "Here, take this.
I
You're
have not
fine."
been properly prepped for this.
Well,
Now,
I
she's
actually
not
checked
going
with
to say
her.
anything to Colton, is she?
Colton wouldn't know. I mean, no, she's not gonna say anything to Colton.
Okay, well, I'm just asking because he's has the opposite parts. I don't know. Like a oh,
Mm,
Colton, did you know that? No. Anyways.
no, Presley doesn't talk to Colton if she can help it.
Yeah, younger
Poor
brother. Ew,
Colton.
gross.
She's
Ew,
just
gross.
like, "You are a thorn in my side, and you have been since you were born."
Yeah, well,
She's
that
not.
it takes another couple decades before they come around.
I don't know, I hope so. But all he wants her to do is love him. Like, it's so
I know.
sad. I'm like, "Presley, just play with him. You're hurting his feelings." And
This is
she's
the
like, "He's
older
annoying."
This is the older younger thing, right? My boys are 7 years older than Emery. So when she was the age where she wanted them to pay attention and play, she's 7, 8. They're 14. Like they're like I got no time for you. And now that she's turning 20 and they're 26, 27, they now are like, "Oh, actually she's not that bad." And she's like, "Why don't they know me better because they were too old?"
Yeah.
You're like the
Well, I
middle
can't
child.
speaking of,
You were buffered. I
no,
got
no
you.
one wanted to play with me. Jenny was a goody two shoes, and Liz and Angela had their whole thing where they'd like lock me in closets. They played kidnapper with me, and then they would tie me up in closets and leave me there.
That feels like an excellent game. I'd like to talk to those sisters. They play
They
kidnap
they
with me.
they freaking tortured me. And then Jenny was just hanging on to mom's apron strings, holding under her apron strings, just like, "I'm gonna cook and clean with mom." I'm like, "You suck and are boring at life." She's not boring at life anymore, but she really was. To the point that one time she called me, and Sydney's very by the book, right? Like, she's gonna listen and she's gonna do the right thing, you
Like
know,
Jimmy.
like Jenny. And
Yeah.
she's responsible in all of those things. And then we have Presley. And Presley will defend you to your honor to the I mean, she is, if you are her friend, she will fiercely defend you. The teachers think she's great. She's awesome. But like getting Presley to do anything around the house is like, "Oh my God, I do everything." Like, I'm like, "I'll load the dishwasher." She's like, "I do everything." And I'm like, "You have no fucking idea, kid." Anyways, so Sydney's a goody two shoes. And Jenny calls me one day and she's like, "I'm kind of seeing what I was like
It's just
at
gonna
her age." And she's like, "And I would just like to apologize, Christy. I think that maybe I deserved a lot of the things that you did
yeah.
because it can be real annoying."
I
Sydney,
remember
don't ever
telling
listen to this because your mom loves you like crazy. But
I do remember telling my mom when Em was little, like, "Oh my God, she did this and this and this." And my mom's like, "Ooh, let me try to imagine what it would be like raising a girl like that." Okay, mom, you're pretty pint sized for someone so sarcastic.
well, I'm gonna die laughing the day that Presley asked Grandma Mary why she had so much sex and so many kids. Because at some point she's gonna be like, "Wait a tick.
Wait a
1,
second.
2."
That means that worked for grandma too? So many times, grandma. I
Like,
dare you
ew.
to bring it up. I dare you to bring it up when Christy and Presley and Mary are in the room and you're like, Mom, we had this great chat the other day and I was telling, let
Hey,
Presley do
Presley
the
can't
math.
handle anymore for a while, okay? She cannot handle anymore for a
Okay.
while.
Well, I'm proud of you for having that conversation with her. I'm sure it was a bit gross for you. No follow up questions, please. I'm not taking any questions from the audience.
She's like, "Can we be done with this conversation?" She's like, I just want to be done with this, Mom. Can we get to a stopping point here? Because you know me, I start going and then I just keep
Yeah, I got
going. And
more.
she's
Let me
like,
layer more.
I'm going to need a hard stop here, Mom. Hard stop.
Love it. I love it. Well, that's the best part about being a very practical parent when you're like, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not candy coating this. Then the kids are kind of like, okay, I get it. That's good. Thank you. Time out. Good enough.
Well, and I was like, "Should you have any follow-up questions,
You
talk
know
to
where
me
to
about
find me
it,
at. Yes, please do not go
not
to her
anyone else."
or anyone at school. Yes.
And
Oh, well, that's
again,
good.
I'm just waiting to well, I did let all of her friends' moms know. I'm like, "Hey, just so you know,
That's
based on what happened at school, I decided to have the talk with Presley. I
It'll be
hope she doesn't."
interesting to see if she tells anybody else or if the parents proactively have their conversations.
Well, I talked to the school nurse before I had this conversation because I wanted to see, like, what have they heard so far? And basically the answer is nothing. They have like, puberty education or whatever in 5th grade where they just talk about what happens to a woman's body. But there's no, I mean, that's get like 6th grade is when you start getting into the birds and the bees. And I'm like, okay, but like a lot of little girls have their period by the time they get to 6th grade. Like, anyways, whatever.
Even if you didn't think they needed to know the ins and outs of the birds and the bees, by the time they're having their periods, somebody better fucking tell them about the birds and the bees, because then there's
Right?
going to be a lot more birds and bees. Yes. Anyways. Well,
Anyways,
good
I
for
mean,
you. You did it. You got the worst of it. And then you
when I
beg out for Colton. You're like, not mine, not my job.
yeah. No, I let Presley's dad know, and I was like, unless you want to do it, and he said no. I'm like, well, just so you know, Colton's on you, but
Totally.
I'll probably end up doing it. I'll know that
Or his dad will tell him in a very like vague way, and then Colton will bring all the follow-up questions to mom, who's not going to bullshit me, and she's going to tell me this stuff. And you're like,
Well, I mean, I just think that sometimes anyway, well, I ain't going into that. Okay, so we talked football, we talked having the sex talk. I told you about some fuckery that happened in Santa Fe. What else do we Kelly.
yes,
Kelly's sabbatical is officially over.
that's true. I'm going back to the grown-up life of employment. Monday. I'm treating this week like it's a holiday week, that I'm on vacation, staycation. There's nobody here but the dog and I. And then I'm just like, Monday morning, let's go. Let's get it done.
You're excited. Let's be
I
honest.
am excited. I'm so excited. I tipped my camera over.
Sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. That's what's on Kelly's wall that I hadn't seen because okay, now Kelly's the Blair Witch Project. What's going to happen? Are you dead?
Dude, I kicked over my camera.
Okay.
Look at,
Well,
I'm less straight, but yes, Monday I go back to the real world of working. I'm excited, and so I get to meet all new people and learn new things and be a big girl boss again. So stay tuned.
I'm sure it's going to be great. You're going to love it.
It's
We're
gonna be
still going to
great.
continue the podcast though,
Of
right?
course. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, of course. The good news is I get to work from home, so I can podcast on my lunch break or whenever we squeeze it in the same location we are today. And I will secure my camera.
Maybe before you start your job on Monday, you might
I
want to
just
get the camera situation figured out.
I just like to be at least a little more eye to eye and not be like looking down all the time on the podcast. So I could hook it on my computer, but it makes me look down. So also I don't, you gotta keep the chin looking too terrible. Age.
Listen, I get it. I was
These are
like, man,
taping it back. Look, no one would notice the tapes.
I'll send you some tape, Kelly.
I can buy some tape and wear it and not tell you and see if you can notice it. Also, I could do these ones tape here. Look at that. Look at that.
Well, that's good.
Be like, did you get a facelift? I'll be like, no, baby, tape. But I just can't leave the house. This is my virtual reality tape only for Zoom calls. There you go.
Zoom and Teams. I
There we
hate Teams.
go. Okay. Well, so thank you for sharing your football insights. I thank you for everyone who followed us because of football. There's a lot of other fuckery that we talk about besides football. So please feel free to go back on other episodes and you can learn all about menopause and what it's like to be an awkward parent and what else.
And just have some good laughs.
And have some good laughs.
Yeah.
And we will continue to podcast despite having 2 big girl jobs. And then I will still edit because I still have fun doing it. And Christy won't do it.
And I have no idea how. And if I was editing, nothing would ever. I work with like professional creatives, Kelly. I can't. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to hand all the poop compilation to your professionals then, and they could professionally compile all those poop comments. I
Ew.
thought it was pretty damn clever.
I was impressed, but also grossed out. So, anyways,
40 mentions. I'll have to
follow, like, share, and listen. Tune in.
Tune in next week when who the hell knows what we'll talk about, but I'm sure we'll get off topic terribly. And in the meantime, I might even watch football. What time are they playing? What day? Right.
The K-State?
Sure.
The Chief. Oh, hold on. I gotta pull up
What
ESPN
day do my
because
Wildcats play?
I'm going. I can hear my kids just got home. I gotta feed them and get them out the door. Hold on. I'm looking because I didn't. I'm gonna be at a soccer tournament in Iowa this weekend for Presley, so that'll be fun.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Can you drive there?
Yeah, we can drive there. Can I tell you? I'm not driving. Of course, I arranged to go with another mom.
I know you're like,
Can I tell you?
I'm like lies.
Okay, so speaking of sports and fuckery, so we have a tournament again that starts on. I'm here, buddy. Just give me a minute. That starts on October 3rd. Well, do you know what's happening on October 3rd?
No. Do you want me to Google it? Is there something bad?
No, Taylor Swift is releasing her new album, and there.
Is there a Chiefs game that night? Like,
No, it's T Swift. Anyways, so several of the moms and I they're having a movie theater experience for the release. So we bought tickets, and I didn't realize that we were starting a tournament that night. So I get with the director of the tournament, and I'm like, hey, listen, I know we're in town and normally we'd play the Friday night game. I'm gonna need you to not have us play the Friday night game.
You got the tournament schedule adjusted so you could watch a Taylor Swift album release? You are a magical, magical woman.
It helps when you're nice to people, but I'm like, listen, we've all bought these tickets. It's like half our team, da 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 da. And they're like, well, let me see if we can get it just before the schedule comes out. And you know what was confirmed 2 hours ago?
That you don't miss your game?
We have it at 8 a.m. the next day, but we don't have to play on a Friday night. Also, our girls play like shit on Friday nights because they're tired.
Wait, if you're flying, are you watching it virtually and you don't want to play because you're going to watch it from Iowa, or you leave?
No. So hold on. So Iowa's this weekend. We also have an in-town tournament next weekend.
Gotcha.
But next Friday is when the album release party is, and it's at AMC Theaters. It's a limited time thing. All the girls are going.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, we're going to default the game if you don't switch it.
Just remember, in this life, you don't get what you're not willing to ask for.
That is true. Period. What's the worst that can happen? They say no.
Yeah. And then you argue. And then you cry. And then you beg.
No. And then you move into phase 2. And then eventually you get to fuck you then. Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. Anyways, because you never know when you have to talk to that person again and you want them to say yes.
Absolutely.
You want them to feel like they owe you something for telling you no. Kelly, your face.
Just feel like I need to replace that sign you saw on my back wall. What? Feel like they owe you something for telling you no. I think this is good advice.
It is. You stay nice and kind, and then the next time you have to interact with that person, they're going to remember that they told this nice, kind person no, and they're going to try twice as hard to give you a yes.
This is brilliant. I'm just writing it down.
Please do. Let's write that down. Write that down.
Christy tip. I actually took notes today. I did write it down, but I'm turning into you. Look at me with my purple and white. See? In your squiggle pad.
Well, because I have to do it. I'm ADHD. Anywho, I got to go feed my kids and get them off to all their activities tonight. Good seeing you as always. Much love.
Like, share. We'll see you next week when we talk about We Don't Know What. If you know what you would like us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Do some work for us.
Yes. Hope a review.
All right. Bye, Kelly.